In last video, we just show how we can create data frame objects to store the return, and then we use apply function to apply the function to apply the enormous function rewrite on each column of the data frame objects at ds1, except for the date, and then get the returns. And in this video, we're going to calculate the summary statistics. There are built-in functions for functions like for statistics like mean, variance, standard deviations. And if the factor contains no missing values, we can simply use these functions and provide the factor as the first argument. So let's use stop price of AAN as not the stop price, the return price of the return of the stop price AAN as the example, like mean, variance, standard deviations. So everything seems too good to be true, right? Yes, it's right. If it contains no missing value, you can simply do it like this. But take IBN as example. If the factor contains missing value, we are going to take these built-in functions require additional arguments for input, like for removing the NA before calculating. So let's give it a try, and you can see that like the return, if we apply the same functions like mean, SD, variance to return of IBN is going to be NA because it contains missing values. So let's read the documentation of for example, for mean. We see that like it accepts the argument na.rn. By default is to be false, but if you change it to be true, then it allows you to strip away the missing values before computations. And let's see how it goes. Like so, let's run these with the extra argument provided, and we see that like this time it can compute the mean, standard deviation for variance and variance, even the factor itself contain missing values. Again, like we can do it one by one to compute these statistics for each return of stocks. But in the same times, we can write a function and name it as our summary, or other names as well, like if you prefer, to report mean, variance, and standard deviation for an atomic factors, and then use apply we just saw in the last video to make things easier for a list of stocks, so that you don't need to repeat the task multiply times. So let's run the our summary. By doing so, it's going to create a function object. You can see the our summary is there. If we would like to see the source code for the summary for this function, we can just simply type the name of the function. It's going to be print here, but this way it's not going to run the function. To run the function, you have to provide the input. So for instance, like if we would like to provide the input for the price of AAN, right? We just copied it. Oh no, I'll just type it out. Can't be too lazy. And we'll see that like by providing the input to the our summary functions, it's going to actually run it. If you just type the name, it's going to print out the code. Okay, and we saw that the functions, we write a function for reporting the summary statistics, and now we will use apply. It's going to be provided as the second argument, And for the first argument, it's going to take the data frame, because data frame itself can be seen as a list of like of all the columns. And the last argument is provided to the as the argument input for the functions. So in this case, it's going to be provided here. We don't actually need it because by default of our summary text is true. But for the sake of I will just show you. If you put it this way, it's going to be true. But even if you don't provide the third argument, it's going to be the same. But if you somehow provide the third argument as false, then you will pass to the our summary function as remove NA equals to false. Then you are having trouble to report the price, the summary statistics for return of IBN because it contains the missing values. See? So that's it. I'll just pause the video.